What kind of person screams at a lifeguard doing their job? The sun blazed over Crescent Beach, a stretch of golden sand packed with families, surfers, and sunburned tourists. The air smelled of salt and sunscreen, and the waves roared in a steady rhythm. Amid the laughter and chatter, a piercing voice sliced through the summer haze. "You're ruining my day," Karen bellowed, her face red, her oversized beach hat flapping as she jabbed a finger at the young lifeguard. Her name wasn't really Karen, but it might as well have been. She was the kind of woman who turned every minor inconvenience into a personal crusade. And today, she'd chosen the wrong battleground. The lifeguard, a lanky 20-something named Jake, stood his ground, whistle dangling from his neck, his expression a mix of patience and exasperation. He'd just asked Karen to move her beach umbrella was blocking the lifeguard tower's view of the water. A simple request. A matter of safety. But to Karen, it was an assault on her very existence. "I paid for this spot," she shrieked, her voice carrying over the beach like a foghorn. "You can't tell me what to do." Jake tried to explain, his voice calm but firm. The umbrella was in the way, endangering swimmers. Karen didn't care. She planted her hands on her hips, her floral cover-up straining as she leaned forward, spittle flying. "Do you know who I am? I've been coming to this beach for years." The crowd began to notice. A mother nearby pulled her kids closer, whispering to them to stay quiet. A surfer paused, board under his arm, watching the scene unfold. Karen's tirade escalated, her words a torrent of entitlement. She demanded to speak to Jake's supervisor, called him incompetent, and even accused him of targeting her because of her weight. Jake's jaw tightened, but he stayed professional, radioing for backup. This wasn't just a tantrum, it was a storm, and it was about to break. The beach buzzed with whispers as Karen's outburst drew more eyes. She didn't notice, or maybe she thrived on it. Her voice grew louder, her gestures wilder. She knocked over a child's sandcastle in her frenzy, barely glancing at the little girl who burst into tears. The mother, a woman named Sarah, stepped forward, her voice trembling but resolute. "Ma'am, you need to calm down. You're scaring my daughter." Karen spun on her, eyes blazing. "Mind your own business," she snapped, dismissing Sarah with a wave. That was her first mistake. Sarah wasn't just a concerned mom, she was a local, well known for organizing beach cleanups and fundraisers. She had clout here, and Karen had just made an enemy. Sarah's eyes narrowed, and she pulled out her phone, quietly recording. Karen didn't notice, too busy berating Jake, who was now joined by his supervisor, Mia, a no-nonsense woman with years of experience handling people like Karen. Mia's arrival shifted the dynamic. She stood tall, her voice cutting through Karen's tirade like a knife. "Ma'am, you're causing a disturbance. Move your umbrella, or you'll be asked to leave." Karen scoffed, doubling down. "Leave? You can't make me leave. I know my rights." But Mia wasn't Jake. She didn't flinch. She explained the beach's safety regulations, citing local ordinances Karen clearly didn't understand. The crowd grew, phones out, capturing every moment. Karen's face twisted with rage, but there was something else now, a flicker of doubt. She wasn't winning this. Mia's calm authority was unshakable. and Sarah's recording was already uploading to a local community group's page. Karen's tantrum was no longer just a scene. It was becoming a public spectacle. The confrontation reached a fever pitch when Karen made her second mistake. In a fit of defiance, she grabbed her umbrella and yanked it from the sand, swinging it wildly. It nearly hit Jake, who dodged just in time. Gasps rippled through the crowd. "That's assault," Sarah called out, her phone still rolling. Karen froze, the umbrella dangling in her hand. For the first time, she seemed to realize the weight of her actions. Mia's eyes hardened. "Ma'am, put that down and leave now, or I'm calling the police." Karen's bravado faltered, but her pride wouldn't let her back down. "Go ahead," she spat. "I'll sue you all." The crowd murmured, some shaking their heads, others whispering about that Karen. The air crackled with tension, and the beach, once a haven of summer joy, felt like a courtroom waiting for a verdict. The standoff stretched on, the sun beating down as if amplifying the heat of Karen's defiance. She stood there, umbrella in hand, glaring at Mia and Jake. The crowd's murmurs grew louder, a mix of disbelief and amusement. Then came the twist no one saw coming. A man pushed through the onlookers, his face flushed with embarrassment. "Karen, stop it," he shouted. It was her husband, Tom, a quiet man who'd been lounging under their beach tent, unnoticed until now. His voice cracked with frustration. "You're making a fool of yourself." The revelation hit like a wave. Karen wasn't just a lone agitator, she had someone who knew her, someone who'd seen this behavior before. Tom's plea was raw, almost desperate, and it peeled back a layer of Karen's bravado. For a moment, her face softened, but then her pride snapped back like a rubber band. "Don't you dare undermine me," she hissed at him, her voice low but venomous. The crowd exchanged glances. This wasn't just a public meltdown, Anna Marie, it was personal. Tom's intervention only fueled Karen's rage. She turned back to Mia, her voice climbing again. "You think you can humiliate me? I'll have your job." But Mia was unmoved. She radioed for security, her tone steady. Jake, meanwhile, checked on the little girl whose sandcastle Karen had destroyed, crouching to offer her a kind word. The contrast was stark, Jake's compassion against Karen's chaos. Sarah, still recording, caught every moment. Her video now live-streaming to hundreds in the community group. Comments flooded in. "She's out of control. Ban her." The digital tide was turning, and Karen was oblivious. She didn't know that her outburst was no longer confined to the beach. It was viral, spreading across social media like wildfire. The real clash came when security arrived. Two officers in crisp uniforms, their presence commanding silence. The lead officer, Ramirez, listened as Mia explained the situation, Karen's refusal to comply, her aggressive behavior, the near assault with the umbrella. Karen interrupted, her voice shrill. "They're lying. They targeted me." But Ramirez wasn't swayed. He'd dealt with her type before. He asked for her ID, which she handed over with a dramatic huff, muttering about lawsuits. The crowd watched, riveted, as Ramirez checked her information. Then he delivered the blow. "Ma'am, you're in violation of beach safety regulations. You're banned from this beach for the season." Karen's jaw dropped, her face a mix of shock and fury. Banned. You can't do that, she screamed. But Ramirez held up a hand. You can appeal through the city. But for now, you need to leave. Karen's world began to crumble. She looked at Tom, expecting support. But he just shook his head, his embarrassment palpable. The crowd's whispers turned to open chatter, some even clapping as Ramirez escorted Karen toward the parking lot. She dragged her feet, still clutching the umbrella, muttering about injustice. Sarah followed at a distance, her phone still recording, capturing the moment Karen's defiance met its match. The little girl, now smiling, rebuilt her sandcastle with Jake's help. The beach slowly returned to its rhythm waves crashing, kids laughing, but Karen's absence left a lingering echo. Her tantrum had consequences, and they were just beginning. As Karen and Tom reached their car, she turned on him, her voice low and bitter. Why didn't you back me up? Tom sighed, his shoulders sagging. Because you were wrong. Karen. You always do this. His words stung, revealing a fracture deeper than the beach incident. Karen's anger masked a flicker of shame, but she buried it, slamming the car door. Back on the beach, Mia and Jake debriefed with Ramirez, ensuring the incident was documented. Sarah's video, now with thousands of views, sparked a community debate about beach etiquette and accountability. Some defended Karen, claiming she was just standing up for herself. But most saw her actions for what they were, reckless and entitled. The ban wasn't just a punishment, it was a statement. Crescent Beach had rules, and no one, not even a Karen, was above them. The fallout was swift. By evening, Karen's outburst was the talk of the town. Local news picked up the story, with Sarah's video playing on repeat. The headline screamed, Beach Karen banned after lifeguard clash. Karen's Name Her Real One, pulled from Ramirez's report, was plastered across articles, her face frozen in mid-rant. She became a meme, a cautionary tale. At home, Karen sat in silence, scrolling through the comments on her phone. Entitled much. She could have hurt someone. The weight of public judgment pressed down, and for the first time, she felt the sting of accountability. Tom, sitting across from her, said nothing, his silence louder than any lecture. Karen wanted to fight back, to post a defense online, but even she knew it was futile. The evidence was undeniable, and her reputation was in tatters. The next day, Karen tried to appeal the ban, marching into the city office with a prepared speech about her rights. But the official, a stern woman named Clara, was unmoved. She cited the beach's safety ordinances, the witness statements, and the video evidence. You endangered others, Clara said flatly. The ban stands. Karen's face crumpled, but she didn't argue. Something had shifted. Maybe it was Tom's words, or the viral video, or the realization that her actions had consequences beyond her control. She left the office quietly, a shadow of the woman who'd stormed the beach. Back home, she avoided the mirror, afraid to face the person she'd become. The beach, meanwhile, thrived without her. Jake and Mia were hailed as heroes, their calm professionalism praised in the community group. Sarah organized a beach cleanup in their honor, raising funds for new lifeguard equipment. The little girl whose sandcastle Karen destroyed drew a picture for Jakia stick figure lifeguard with a big smile. The community rallied, not just against Karen's behavior, but for something bigger: respect, safety, and accountability. The ban wasn't just about one woman. It was a reminder that no one owns a public space. Crescent Beach belonged to everyone, and its rules protected that shared joy. Karen's story didn't end in total defeat. Months later, she wrote a letter to the community group, a quiet apology buried in the comments section. "I let my anger get the better of me," she wrote. "I'm working on it." Some scoffed. Others offered cautious support. Tom stood by her, pushing her to take a hard look at herself. It wasn't a fairy tale redemption, but it was a start. Karen never returned to Crescent Beach, but the ban's ripple effect lingered. It inspired locals to hold each other accountable, to speak up when entitlement threatened their shared spaces. The beach remained a place of joy, its waves washing away the memory of that day, leaving only a lesson: actions have consequences, and no one, not even a Karen, is above the rules. For those who witnessed it, the story of Karen's ban became a rallying cry. It wasn't about shaming one woman, but about protecting what mattered: a community built on respect, not rage. The lifeguards, the locals, even the little girl with her sandcastle, all played a part in reclaiming their beach. And in that victory, they found something stronger than anger: the power of standing together for what's right.